we've got finals of the F tier of the Dominion League. So we go over to standings for the current season. We scroll down, down. Where's the Fs? All right. So among the F tiers, uh, the champions of those divisions play each other. And the two that made it finals are the champion of F4, prezezra, and the champion of F7, sdrawkcab. So we're about to determine the best of the F tier. We had a false start a second ago where both players had forgotten to re-up their subscriptions and they rolled a base only kingdom. Seems we've gotten that sorted out. All right, what's going on here? So the main draw is going to be Paddock. Crypt can also draw treasures. There's I was about to say no village, but Patient might be a village. Never mind. Patient is on stockpile. Uh, Patient lets you play action cards without spending an action. So, like, imagine Patient were on Harbinger or something. You'd set aside Harbingers, and then the next turn there would be a village effect. Um, but yeah, it doesn't look like the strongest kingdom of all time. There's no village until two piles empty with Paddock. You get some individually strong cards here. I think probably you want to thin fairly aggressively and play with a stack of highways, stockpiles plus buy, prices plus buy later. Uh, yeah, I imagine the rewards from Joust would be relevant. There's a number of strong wards. How have they opened? I like the Paddock opening a lot more than the Highway, I think. Highway strikes me as a card that you want, but it's not doing a whole lot for you early, whereas Paddock is a draw card. I think I like the Paddock open. You could also consider opening investment directly, given that thinning here is pretty important. Oh no! That is Ezra. No, 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 no. Oh, we are in the F tiers. A gold has been bought turn 5. What are you doing with the gold? What conceivable value does that gold have for you? I don't like that one bit. All right. Estra K-Cab, which appears to just be backwards, has 5 and 2 buys. Who has the investment already? Estra. Second one seems reasonable. You could buy an investment and regain the stockpiles. Uh, Probably a little early for crypt. I want to at least trash another state before I put a crypt in the deck. Patron. I think no, I don't think I like the patron very much. Um, Opening patron to bank up some villagers can be helpful because it allows you to play with multiple terminals earlier than you otherwise would. But here, there's not that many terminals you need to play early. I mean, I'll let you play an outpost, I guess. Estron adds a rice. Prez adds an investment. Okay. Uh, Second paddock. I don't think you can support that. Right about now, be thinking about crypt for both players. More highways. If you want to go the highway route, I think you need to thin very aggressively. And I believe it is prezezra who only has the one investment. I think you want at least two of them to clean out the deck. If you just want your deck to be a stack of highways and then a few plus buy cards, which I think is a reasonable goal. It's just not going to come together if your deck is a bunch of golds and coppers in it. Okay, so about that crypt. Good joust. That was cheap rice. The fact they bought joust last turn makes me think we're going to take a province this turn, probably. Going for the rewards. Also, if you want to line up your joust with the province, that would benefit from getting thinner. I think neither of these decks is quite thin enough. I think you want multiple investments and at least one crit, and then both the Stack of Highways plan and the Get Rewards plan, which aren't really mutually exclusive with each other, are more likely to come together. But we did draw it right off the top. What's the best reward at the moment? I'm gonna say, yeah, Courser's a reasonable choice. It draws cards, and you need to draw cards. Down the line, I could see Coronet and Renown both being very good here. Well, never mind. I was confused. I thought we had a second investment in hand, but it was Rice. Can't make up our mind whether to buy provinces or go for the highway mega turn. Alrighty, looks like both players have gotten the lucky draw province straight off the top of the deck and line it up with the joust. Coronet looks best here, I would think. Coronet's going to double play both the paddock and the rice, and your rice is going to give you 3 points each for action, treasure, and reward. Or so 3 coins, rather. I could also see taking House Carl, perhaps. You could play paddock first, then House Carl, and draw a bunch of cards. That's still just a smithy worth of draw. Yeah, I think Coronet looks best. Go take an investment here. Potentially scores you a bunch of points. State. Two states. I suppose the question is whether you think you're likely to get back around through your deck. I'm not sure how many horses are down here in these bottom 12 cards. If you're not gonna see your next shuffle before the game ends, then estates now are points. If you're gonna trigger the shuffle that now has a bunch of horses in it, investment will probably score you more points. Alrighty, what looks best here? Go for the House Carl, which presumably you're playing first, yeah. That seems like a reasonable choice. Interesting choice to take the one money there over 3 victory points, given the state of the game that we're at. But it could win either way, so. Game one goes to prezezra. I believe this is first to 3.5 wins the match. Basically, best of seven. That's true. All right, we got backwards versus ours is there. Wasn't Estral the one open with Paddock? No, I thought that the Paddock was the better opening. Okay. Ew, battlefield. Gross. We got draw with rabble and stowaway. Villages are fortress and crown. For trashing, there's a lookout, remodel, and crystal ball. And then plus buy comes from sack of loot, as well as most of the loots that you gain off of it. Also, baubles is plus buy. So pretty normal looking engine to me. How do you open here? My first intuition is just remodel plus lookout. Uh, Never mind. John likes that. Change of plans. We're opening silver bauble. Bauble gives out curses. I think bauble looks like a reasonable card just for like the making effect. And it's flexible. Probably the curses aren't the most impactful thing ever. We invested in remodel. I don't like that. So like, supposing you invest in remodel turn one, thinking you're clever and stopping your opponent from buying remodel, and then on their turn one, they just buy remodel anyway. Now they've triggered a shuffle for you, and you have 0 cards of value in that shuffle because you didn't actually buy anything. I think you just put that remodel straight in your deck. Okay, so we have invest remodel plus lookout versus silver silver. Okay, between those two, I definitely like the one that opened with lookout better than the double silver. Silver silver is a fine opening when there's like nothing good at 3 and 4 and you really want to get a 5 fast. But early on, I think the 3s and 4s look more important. I mean, you can go for crystal ball for thinning, which seems to be their plan. I don't think it's better than lookout or remodel for trashing things. I eventually want rabbles. I don't think you're super in a rush to get them. Or remodel is still stuck aside. In a fortress by stowaway. Yeah, pretty much exact same play I would expect for prezezra over there. Or ours is art. Another remodel. Hmm. Be reasonable, I suppose. You have fortress, which is a good target for remodels. I would like to top deck a crown here, I think. If you put a rabble on top, it's likely to be dead unless you top deck fortress. Yeah, that's a good argument. Don't even take the coin. Just top deck a second fortress, then play your first fortress, remodel a fortress, play the second fortress, remodel something else. That sounds nice to me. Was that worth it? I'm not sure that was worth it. By sycophant. Alrighty, so 0 rabbles have been gained so far. There we go. There's a rabble. I was about to say both these decks probably use a little bit of draw here. Hmm. Pretty sure I want to rabble in this deck. Remodel silver into rabble and buy a stowaway. Stowaway seems like a better card than silver to me, given that you're going to have all the treasure you need off a stack of loot anyway. If you just wanted rabble and silver, you could obviously not play the remodel and just buy the rabble. Okay, okay. We trash the silver. We did it. No, that's that's just buying rabble with extra steps. Now we've lowered the silver pile. Goodbye, bubble. And this isn't particularly sad. It's not like you value those baubles very much. I think I would left the stowaway on top. Draw is draw. All right, this deck is getting places. Okay, what's the best order of thing operations here? Probably Crystal Ball into Trash Copper. No, they just want to discard the copper. Then you could do Crystal Ball, play the sack of loot. I would rather trash the copper than play the sack of loot, I think. Um, Also, don't leave the orb on top. That is a stop card. You're going to dud. I like your first buy better. Ravel's a draw card. You need more draw. It's not like you you need to win the fortress split. There's a whole second stack of villages sitting there untouched in the crown pile. Invest Rabble over Stowaway. Are we talking about this last turn where they had 13 money? Or is it 12 money? That Stowaway into play and invest Crown? Why do you need 7 money? What do you need 7 money for? Feel like just taking a draw card or getting a draw card in place. Much better there. What are we doing here? Probably play the remodel once now and crown the fortress. Maybe you just start by crowning a fortress. Or you just know that Rabble's. Why didn't you crown that? I feel like these players don't like drawing cards as much as they ought to. You could have drawn 6 cards just another Rabble. Top deck plus favor. Wait a sec. Why does Estra have 7 favors? Am I missing something? How did you get 7 favors? Why didn't you? Oh, I see. I see. So they gained and trashed a sycophant and accumulated a ton of favors and just hadn't played a bubble to give out a curse. Okay, that explains everything. They bought a crown and another sycophant. It's a nice starting hand. Alrighty. Probably trashing the curse is better than playing the stowaway. Yeah. All right, we're gonna crown the rebel this time, right? Please. Thank you. All right, we learned our lesson. Mm. I'm thinking, wait, actually, what am I thinking? What I'm thinking. The trouble with Sycophant is you want to play it to activate Circle of Witches, but you don't want to play it because its effect is so terrible. We pitched the Copper remodel in Sycophant. Okay. Probably the best target for Crown here is the Crystal Ball. Not 100% on that. Golden to Province, I would think. And just another Province. Invest in Crown sounds nice to me. Another remodel. Two more remodels, in fact. Do you have enough draw to draw those remodels and play them? I have my doubts. Yeah, you didn't want to play that in the action phase. Crystal Ball is not a bad target. I was expecting the figurehead to get crowned there. Quite a fortunate draw off the top of the deck there, my goodness. A little over terminals. Would you rather play the Rabble or the Remodel? I think at this state of the game, probably Crown Remodel and trash the loots into two more provinces. Yeah, I think I would like to score, but especially while there's still battlefield points left. Maybe you get lucky and find something nice off the top. Crystal ball. Uh, yeah. So what you could consider maybe would be crown remodel and just trash doubloons into province and like silver into duchy or something, and that leaves a shield, and then that would let you buy a state and also buy stowaway. So then you get your stowaway in play, but you also still get all six battlefield points. Or you could do doubloons into province and province into province. I'm not sure if probably don't want to lower the provinces that low. Josh, did you end up promoting? I don't remember. He did. He did end up promoting by half a point. That means we're gonna have to play next season, isn't it? Doesn't it? You'll never see me in a Kingdom of the Battlefield. Yeah, I had Battlefield banned for God knows how long. I do not like that card. What do we end up doing? Played the Rebel. Okay. Okay. Prezezra's drawn the deck. Do we have a win here? Uh, it's got to be a win. Uh, don't you want to think first? I feel like there might have been a win there. We might be jumping the gun just a teensy weensy bit. They seem entirely confident that they cannot win. Have a little more faith in yourself. I'm conv Is the deck with one remodel the remodel route? What's the deck with four remodels called? The remodel highway? Yeah, I likewise suspect that there was a win. Whew, that's a starting hand. Prezezra does have four extra draw coming in, so this isn't necessarily a dud. All right, what do we got here? Is this a win? Doesn't look like it. If you remodel province into province, can you do double province off of all this? I don't think so. Well, let's see. Remodel province into province. Play spell scroll as remodel. Remodel shield into province. Then you have 3 money, 4 money, 5 money, 6 money. Ooh, that's close. If your crystal ball finds anything worth 2 money off the top, this would be a win, right? I think you go for it. You're behind, and well, from our POV, Prez Ezra's hand is terrible. All that S draw is going to see is that they have four extra draw and one extra money coming in. So I wouldn't really be counting on them to done. So yeah, I think remodel province into province, spell scroll, trash one of the two loots into a province, play the well, you could play the crystal ball before you do the spell scroll thing. You don't have to commit to that part in advance. Um, but you would have to trash the province in the province before you know what this crystal ball is going to hit. Yeah. And then I think your odds of winning are well below 50%. I don't think there's that many cards in the deck that you'd be super happy to hit here. Um, but I think you still take your chances there. You hit a rabble and draw into something, or you hit another loot, or you hit a crown. Yeah, exactly. You have to play the remodel first. It's action phase, but you could hold off on doing the spell scroll thing until you see what the crystal ball hits. There's no way to top deck anything. With Bobble. That would be helpful. We are not going for it. Not sure what you remodel here. If you're not trying to win immediately, I don't think you want to lower provinces at all, really. I'm thinking just discard the remodel and keep the bauble in hand, and then spell scroll for a stowaway, and then buy two duchies, something like that. I don't know. We would have won. It would have been a win. If they'd gone for it, they would have won the game. A crown would get you there. And the player who denied fortresses managed not to find any of them. How tragic. Wait, is this too few points? Man, this game is so back and forth. Yeah, it's one coin short of a tie, and that's a pretty trivial win in hand. Yep. I didn't even think leaving three provinces looked terribly safe there. But apparently you just leave one province in the pile. It's more than enough. In one tea grabbing unit. Oh, if that was a long turn, you ain't seen nothing. It's like one Kazumaru decision. Oh, now I understand why John's promoted to A division. Xander was demoting him. John's just trying to dodge the slower fellas. It's all coming together. All right, kingdom number two, three. Where is the kingdom button? There we go. Okay, so the only village is Ghost. Can't really build an engine off of that. I imagine the goal here is going to be get thin, play a bunch of cultists, play a bunch of collections. That's a funny interaction. Each ruin with a distinct name will be 3 money for bounty hunter, and you get 2 points off of it. I think I still want cultists just because it's draw and a kingdom where you want draw. I could imagine playing with just like research as the main draw. Their turns are flying by. Goodness gracious. Herbalist? You open with an herbal. Two herbalists. I don't love these herbalists either. In fact, I detest them. I'm anti-herb. Um, and a collection. I don't think I like the collection opening either. I think collection is the end goal of this deck, but I don't think it's doing that much for you early on. Except leading you astray into buying Harbinger Herbalist on turn 3. Uh, and then Estra opens with Harbinger Bounty Hunter. Yeah, that makes sense. Harbinger is pious, you get a free trash out of it. On the 5/2, and then on the 5/2, Cultist, or just Bounty Hunter, or even Tormentor would be reasonable openings. But yeah, definitely would not buy an Herbalist on the $2 turn. Alrighty, Estra takes a collection as well. Still seems a little bit premature to me. Harbinger, trash and state. Makes sense. Oh, I was expecting them to activate that with a cemetery. Harbinger does the trick as well. Okay, turns out collection's a good card after all. We can research this collection and have a massive hand next turn. Goodbye, collection. Nope. Already researched the Tormentor now. Also trash the Harbinger, I suppose. Yeah, maybe trashing Harbinger is better. No, I'm back to saying trash Tormentor. You've already got a copper in your exile. You're not hitting any reasonable number doing it this way. Alright, they trashed the Harbinger. I think that's still fine. Alright, 3 money, trash an estate. Seems okay. The trouble with the Ghost in Prezezra's deck is it has a worrisomely high chance of revealing Herbalist. And that the odds have just gotten higher. Oh, never mind. Harbinger will just top deck the best card. Problem solved. Crisis averted. Oh, and, ooh, how do you do this? You, I don't think you top deck Cultist here. I think you top deck Copper first, then draw the Copper, and then top deck Cultist. Or top deck Herbalist, I guess, would work as well. So they just didn't play the second Harbinger. They could have top decked something, drawn that thing with the second Harbinger, and then top decked Cultist. And this would have been the same thing, but with 1 extra money. And they could have gotten a free Harbinger or a silver or something. Wait a second. Your deck has Herbalists too? There's so many Herbalists everywhere. And sure enough, the ghost hit the Herbalist. How tragic. More Herbalists. I just want to point out this is just like buying estates. You're buying $1.2 cards just for the single collection point. Estates are in every kingdom. Do you just buy a state every time you have 2 money? I would hope not. That looks like a nice cemetery turn, doesn't it? Now listen here. Predecessor has a bad habit. Picking those gold cards up in the top left. Research, I would think. Oh, bounty hunter. Yeah, Prez doesn't even have a bounty hunter yet. I like that then. Okay, so the gold pays off. We can research it and draw a bunch of cards. Why did you gain a curse? No, don't. Oh, no. You gained a curse just to trash the curse. You could have just discarded the copper and the herbalist. Uh, researched a gold, had a big hand. For whatever reason, both players seem to agree that we entered the end game on like turn 3 of this game, and now it's just all out points blitz. No time to get more than a single collection in play. It's got to be 100% scoring points every turn. Yeah, Estra's the one open with the bounty hunter, right? Yeah, bounty hunter plus trash a card seems like a much better opening than herbalist silver. Uh, let alone following that up with herbalist harbinger. I imagine that that probably explains the majority of the lead. Research that cultist. Get it out of the deck. Actually, maybe trashing herbalist is even better. You didn't need that gold. You don't even have the excuse of museum points at this point, do you? Yeah, no, you already had a gold. I mean, not that museum was a valid excuse in the first place, but to the extent that you were clicking gold for the victory points, you're not even scoring points off that. Top deck. What did they top deck? A torturer? Yeah, Imp's probably a better target than torturer, given that we have a lack of terminal space. Uh, oh, that looked like didn't a good turn to buy a cemetery. Maybe the piles are too low. Harbinger's low. Ruin Market's low. There's no third pile that's that low. Yeah, this is fine. Harbinger scores points while semi-trashing. Not as much as cemetery, but it's close. I think you just shouldn't buy that last Ruin Market. You're gonna get it anyway, and it's gonna come without points. Or maybe you're not. Never mind. Estro doesn't have any cultists. I think you still buy the Ruin Market. I think you research the Torturer here. Tormentor is worth 2 points. Torturer is not, because you get a second one. Tormentor is also the card I'd probably rather play right now. Yeah, definitely trash torturer. I'll answer. Then you've got 3, 5, 7, 13 money to work with. I'd consider another bounty hunter. Actually, maybe, no, maybe from Estraw's perspective, what if you research torture, play the herbalist instead of the tormentor? Then you got 12 money, but you've got 5 buys, and you just buy out the herbalists. And then you have a big points lead, and you're threatening to end the game like next turn on herbalist plus ruin market. Your opponent doesn't have a ghost or a research down, so they're not gonna have a big turn. Um, yeah, I think that's my new favorite play. Research tormentor or research torturer, play herbalist, buy 5 herbalists. Then you just need to find like 2 money in the second buy next turn, and you win. And you'll have 15 extra points off of that. So your opponent would have to score like 19 or 29 points to win. It's not happening. Okay, so this is just the same thing, except 1 less herbalist and 2 fewer cards in hand next turn. Why? As much as I appreciate the spirit of exiling the gold, if you had an herbalist right there, we really wanted the golds, and we really did not want to research the golds. But exiling the gold with herbalist in hand, can't explain that one. Alrighty, 2-1 Estra's favor. Game 4. Okay, draw is Ninja, Werewolf, Royal Blacksmith. The only village is Daimyo. Uh, Daimyo and terminal draw is kind of awkward, so you probably want some number of forums. Like if you could find Daimyo plus forum in your starting hand, that's smooth sailing. For trashing, you got Forager, Pickaxe, Expand, and Dismantle. Plenty of thinning. Uh, another bad 5-2. Yeah, I don't think 5-2 looks great here. I don't think 4-3 looks great here either, to be fair. It feels like a Prosperity Kingdom where it's clear where you want to go, but it's not clear how you get there. Um, Ninja Silver versus Ninja Forager. I think I would agree with that. I'm not a big fan of Forager early, just because if you're trashing the estates, you're usually making 0 coins, and it's pretty lackluster. If there's a better trasher, like I think I'd rather take the opening that hits 5 and get a pickaxe off of it. And the Forager's not terrible. And then Prezezra went with Forum on the 5-2. How do I feel about that? I also don't know what I would do on the 5-2. There's just no opening here that looks any good in any split. I think I like Ninja Nothing on the 5-2. That has the pleasant property of you get to play Ninja turn 3 and turn 4, and your opponent is just suffering forever. Not you too. What on earth is that gold doing for you? Res was a bad influence. The gold bug is contagious. I'd probably just click Daimyo here. Silver plus Daimyo, I suppose. Also, actually, no, why do you need a second silver? I don't think you need a second silver. I'll point out that if you hadn't bought that silver, you would have hit 5 here. Maybe we still will? No, no way. Right, more daimyos. Hmm. Yeah, ninja is a very strong card. Not in a good way, in a very bad way, but a strong card nonetheless. I really appreciated when for the interviews for the championship last year, they asked all the top eight players what they thought of Ninja, and all of them were like, "I hate that card." It warmed my heart. P-Trash Copper over Estate. Yeah, that seems like a mistake. You both have foragers. It's not like it's helping you more to power up your forager, I don't think. And Copper is the better card in the deck, especially with silos around. Oh, it was a second ago there weren't any Coppers in the trash. Oh, I see. I said just trash to Copper the previous turn. But yeah, that makes it doubly a mistake. I question the decision to keep the Forager around. I'd rather trash the Forager. Forum plus die. No, no, no. Oh, oh no. That's rough. There could be kids watching this. Do that. Forum plus Daimyo looks like a perfectly sensible set of buys there. Uh, or maybe like a werewolf plus a Daimyo, or I think Forum plus Daimyo looks best. You see, Ninja's a terrible card because it stops your opponent from having 6 money, and so then it prevents them from buying golds. So it's really more of a friendly card than anything. Okay, 6 money. Forum plus Daimyo? No! We're halfway there. Um, Could have top decked a Forum with the Daimyo. That'd be a beautiful starting hand. As it turns out, they drew the Daimyo naturally anyway. Two Daimyos? Prez? What you doing, Prez? It would seem we are buying copper for reasons unknown. Are they going for the Forger payload? To be fair to copper, it looks great when you compare it against gold. Paying 6 coins for 3 money versus 0 coins for 1 money. That's just an infinitely better rate. Diluted here hurts a whole bunch. I guess a second pickaxe? I don't know. Ford, okay. Insignia seems like a pretty nice loot here, actually. These decks are, I think, a little bit inconsistent to kick off. Getting a top deck, like Forum plus Daimyo return sounds lovely. Uh, Prez, I don't think has an expand yet. You could consider expand plus daimyo here. Alternatively, just another forum and another daimyo. Breaking my heart. It's too late for expand. I don't think there's a too late for expand in this kingdom. I think expand just looks like good payload here at any stage of the game. I mean, the whole deck is unreliable. That's not a problem with expand. You have to find daimyo plus forum to kick off in the first place. Speaking of which, why are forums still at 8? I would love to have every forum in my deck. If you line up forum plus daimyo in your starting hand, your turn's probably going great. Case in point, we found two daimyos on a forum in the starting hand. And this turn is going great. Yeah, if there were a card here that would like drew a bunch of cards and then discarded some cards, like non-terminally, that would be a good card. Yeah, so for sure you want to play one of the ninjas. The other ninja, not as important. Maybe you pickaxe it or expand it. All right. Daimyo, expand. Could this be Curse and Copper into Foragers? The difference between 0 and 3 cost cards here is pretty significant because it means they become good pickaxe targets. I think I would just take two Foragers here. Or Forager and a Silver. Either way is fine. Um, I would be happy to have a Royal Blacksmith in the deck. I just have trouble imagining clicking Royal Blacksmith when Daimyo exists. This is fine. Two forums and a daimyo looks good. I was thinking pickaxe the gold because plus buy would be helpful here. I think you do like forum double daimyo or something. But two forums and a daimyo seems all right as well. Yeah. Not only did they buy a goal, they top decked the goal. Oh, just look at that gold and imagine what if that goal were a daimyo. Think about how much better this turn would be right now if that goal were a daimyo. Oh wow, we drew a form deck. If only we had a village on top. Oh god, I don't remember this. Why did I top deck a province? What did I do? Oh yeah, I believe you. I don't even remember that happening. Oh, for shame. Yeah, some people are very persnickety about spectators on the ladder. Which opponent was that? Silly Potter. Does he silence the spectators? Forum? Daimyo, please. Thank you. Crashing Horde does not really matter. You're probably just going to pick exit anyway. Alrighty, this is actually a beautiful starting. Ooh, never mind. They got hit by a nasty poverty. I was gonna say that was a beautiful starting hand. Daimyo, play Forager, trash copper and gold, play the werewolf. Man, imagine if these golds were daimyos. This turn would look a whole lot different, wouldn't it? You got a whole 3 money. That is funny. I don't think I've seen that in action before either. Right, Forum plus Daimyo is the answer to just like every single turn in this kingdom, just about. So you have 5 or more money, click Forum, click Daimyo. Also, it's just the fact that it's turn 18 in a Daimyo kingdom in the first place is a telling sign. Okay, we've identified that turns where you find a forum and a daimyo in your starting hand are nice turns. What lesson can we glean from this data? I just keep looking at these hands that have a gold and a forum in them. Look at this turn. Don't you want your turn to look like this turn? Be the change you want to see in the world. Pretty sure you want to play the ninja just to get in the attack. Probably daimyo expand. Not entirely clear. Okay, given that there's a second ninja down there, that definitely seems like the wrong ninja to play. You play Daimyo and Expand, you trigger the shuffle. You want to play the ninja that's in your deck, not the ninja that's in your hand. Because if you leave that ninja there, it's just going to be sitting in your starting hand next turn. Which is an awkward place for it. But it's okay, because you have an insignia, which means you can top deck a Forum and a Daimyo. Figurehead, okay, not a bad loot. That's not a Forum. That's not a Forum. Oh, that's just the Horde. Okay, you're okay. We still have 5 left. No, no. Okay, I keep seeing the. Okay, we're fine. I'm gonna top deck a Forum. I'm gonna top deck a Daimyo. Thank you. Okay. The goals were scary. I was been burned too many times this game. Uh, those are just the horde. Wait, why are the golds on top though? Why did you top deck the golds? Right, five money is enough. Exactly enough. Well, unfortunately, prezezra doesn't have a insignia. And they did have enough for a Forum and a Daimyo, and did not click either of those things. All right, I believe that's 3-1 sdrawkcab's favor. So I think this is game point. Alrighty, what's happening here? We have capitalism, which affects shaman, secluded shrine, vassal, and bard. You can practice things. There's no plus buy. The village situation is also a bit awkward with just encampment. Tricky kingdom. I'm pretty sure it's on my dislike list. Your dislike list is visible. You might want to reconsider that evaluation. Ninja is not on your dislike list. I would recommend putting it on your dislike list, perhaps even your ban list, but it is not currently. One of these players appears not even to have a dislike or a ban list. The other one dislikes Swindler. Dislike is not enough for Swindler. Swindler should be number one card on the ban list. Governor. I think Governor's fine, but I understand that one. Hermit. Okay. Wall. Wall's a good choice. Magpie's a good choice. I don't understand disliking wizards. Who dislikes wizards? Perfectly fine pile. We ban knights. Good choice. Flag bearer. I can see that, I suppose. Possession. Very good choice. Castles. How do you hate castles? Who hates castles? And mountain paths. Okay. Was that Shaman Black Cat game I saw the other day, Nails? Yeah, that was me. We just you open with a black cat, or you open with a shaman, and then you take black cats, and then just put an estate in the trash, and then they're forced to trigger all your black cats for you. Shaman leads to some nasty setup. There's also a lot of like shaman blockade games where it is entirely practical to make your opponent gain all 10 curses at once, or I guess 9 out of 10 curses. You to blockade one curse, and then you force them to gain a curse. Shaman Cat's Ground board. Yeah, that was a brutal kingdom. I do not like secluded shrine on shaman boards. Uh, I don't have an opinion about that. Is that an interaction that's particularly negative? I would probably just open double shaman, but shaman secluded shrine seems okay as well. What did they open with? Bard. Trashing with shaman around, trashing two isn't particularly better than trashing one early on because you often just get the junk back. But it's not like it's worse than just trashing one. Bard's good for spiking five. Shaman Bard's not a bad opening. It's a reasonable opening. But I think it's putting more emphasis on hitting five and less emphasis on getting thin. And Shaman is a very strong reason to put extra emphasis on getting thin. The fives here are good, but they're not like, gotta get them immediately good. Practice would look a lot better if there were plus buy in this kingdom. It's kind of hard to spend your only buy for the turn, just practicing one thing. Is there plus buy? Am I missing it? You mean Forest's Gift? Or am I actually missing it? I'm not seeing this plus buy. Okay, we're somewhat Forest's Gift. When did they get capitalism? I think turn four capitalism certainly looks too early. I think if you have a sculptor in your deck, capitalism looks kind of nice. You could sculpt a shaman, for example. Ooh, vassal's also fun with capitalism. Look at that. Played a trickster in the buy phase. This is a weird kingdom, but I think in a good way. I'm wondering to what extent you're trying to get deck control. I definitely put a lot of emphasis on thinning. It is not a good thing in a shaman kingdom to leave zero cards in the trash going into your opponent's turn. I also think I would have expected a little bit more emphasis on encampments. Not entirely sure that's right, but encampment looks good to me. Trickster is weak. Uh, Trickster looks okay. Obviously, trashing is more important than junking because in this kingdom, trashing is junking. Trickster lets you top deck a shaman though. That's kind of nifty. Yeah, the kingdom looks immensely awkward, but I imagine if you let me have all five encampments and enough time to make them work, something could come together. Absolutely amazing boon to get here. Hmm. All right, so prezezra says province early. Don't know if that's right or not. Again, it just seems a little bit hard in the kingdom to figure out whether I really want to be going for deck control or just trying to score early. Also, they got the back-to-back, or almost back-to-back Flames gift cards. Yeah, I'm gonna say province in the early side is probably correct, just on account of the no plus buy situation. The upside of building a deck with deck control is you can play an artisan and gain a duchy plus buy a province. That's not huge. Is there a way to hit 8 here? I don't think so. They're close. I think Vassal's just a straight up better card than Bard here. This sure looks like 8 in hand. That was a weird play. Why did you gain a trickster that you can't play? I think that probably should have just been another Vassal, or Vassals are out. I guess another Bard or something. And now we're not hitting 8. You're practicing a trickster. Okay. Sculptor ain't getting played. I think I would rather Artisan gain a. Hmm. Yeah, I think gain a Shaman. You could top deck the Sculptor, gain a Shaman off of it, but then you're not top decking the Trickster or the Catacombs. I think just gain a Shaman straight to hand. It's not a Shaman. Don't you want to trash something? Put something in the trash, make your opponent gain it? No, we do not. I think this is probably his province. The practice trickster stuff is cute, but I think it is not better than just scoring here, especially when your opponent's not close to triggering a shuffle. IMO encampment would have been too slow. No way to trash down in time to keep the encampments. Okay, well, considering how this game went, like if you're playing with multiple shamans and your opponent is playing with one shaman and a bard and trashing inconsistent, I think you would definitely get that control in time in that scenario. And I think step one of the scheme has to just be focus on thinning for quite a while. Uh, and maybe that determines the game before you even get to step two. I think I've been wasting my villages. Oh no, say it ain't so. Let's see, what's the text I can control after that? S uses one villager. Do they have capitalism already? Oh yeah, I think they're correct. So S did burn a villager turn 7, play a bard, which was already capitalized. They used a villager non-trivially to play catacombs. That one checks out. They used a villager to play an artisan. And where's the fourth one? And they used a villager to play a bard. Yeah, I think they wasted 2 villagers. All of the card names are already capitalized. All caps even. They got the big caps, small caps thing going on. Alrighty. We have taken the penultimate province. Can SCAB win here? They need to find their artisan. And also one, no, not more money. You get the one more money for free off of sculptor here. Um, yeah, if they hadn't burned that villager, sculptor gaining an encampment, playing encampment followed by catacombs would give you excellent odds to find the artisan. Now they just got to pray that they find the artisan off the top with the vassal. Can they do it? Artisan. That's a win. All right, that's the match. You could even top deck the sculptor for a bonus estate, or the trickster for a bonus curse. How many times have you ever seen Moon Boon be the clutch boon to get? That's a rarity. Alrighty, well, that's the match. Congratulations to Backwards for the championship, 4-1. And my condolences to prezezra. Uh, good games.